Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. Good afternoon, good evening, or good night, depending on the time zone that you are watching this video in. My voice seems to be mostly restored at this point, provided I don't have to yell at my dogs again while I'm trying to record this. I should be able to get through it without any major difficulties, short a few sips of coffee. So today we're going to be covering the Malignant Plaguecaster and how to win with Death Guard with him. So, quick rundown of his stats. He's speed 5, weapon skill 3, ballistic skill 3, strength 4, toughness 4, 4 wounds, 3 attacks, leadership 8, and a save of a 3 up. You can't really change his gear out that much. You can have actually you can't change his gear at all. Single model armor with a corrupted staff, a bolt pistol, blight grenades, and crack grenades. Bolt pistol, everybody knows. Corrupted staff is a melee weapon. It has +2 strength to the bearer, -1 AP, and it does D3 wounds. And the grenades, everybody knows. He does obviously come with Death to the False Emperor, disgustingly resilient. Pestilent Fallout. This one is kind of cool. Each time this model successfully manifests a psychic power with a psychic test of 7 or more, the nearest enemy unit within 7 inches suffers a mortal wound after the effects of the psychic power have been resolved. So since Nurgle's number is 7, here you go. That's a pretty cool ability. Sorry, I had to take a swig of coffee. Pretty cool ability, and since the average on 2d6 is 7, you should be able to do that pretty often. Now, hopefully, if you're within 7 inches of another unit, you've either got something between you and them, or you've got some plan to annihilate them that turn. Psyker. This model can attempt to manifest 2 psychic powers in each friendly psychic phase and attempt to deny 1 psychic power in each enemy psychic phase. Comes with Smite and 2 psychic powers from the Contagion Discipline. And then it has the normal keywords. So this model is a pretty good utility model. And your opponent's going to have to deal with him. Otherwise he's going to have issues. Now, he is an HQ unit. Looking at the relics, I do not think he can take a relic. It does not appear that he can, so don't worry about the relics. But the Contagion Discipline, there's a few things that look pretty useful in this, that stand out to me, especially if you're running a Poxwalker scam, or I'm sorry, not scam, spam. Excuse me. There went my voice again. Let me pause while I get a cup of coffee. Alright, after drinking a little bit of coffee, back to our regularly scheduled program. You have Asthma of Pestilence, Gift of Contagion, Plague Wind, Curse of the Leper, Putrescent Vitality, and Blades of Putrefaction. Now, if I'm running the Plaguecaster in the list that I generally run, which has about 20 Poxwalkers in it on average, I'm definitely taking Putrescent Vitality and Blades of Putrefaction, because the Blades of Putrefaction, I'll just read it to you. Within 18 inches, a Death Guard unit within 18 inches. Till the start of your next phase, add 1 to all wound rolls made by that unit in the fight phase. Furthermore, any wound rolls of 7+ made for that unit in the fight phase and melee plague weapon inflict a mortal wound. So, +1 on wound rolls is really good, especially when you have a 3-up. I'm sorry, with them they've got low strength, so you need to buff them a little bit. But +1 to the wound roll is good. Mortal wounds are always good. The Putrescent Vitality, charge value 6. Death Guard infantry, and it does specify infantry unit. Within 18 inches Psyker until the start of your next psychic phase, add 1 to that unit's strength and toughness characteristics. And that in and of itself, when you've got a bunch of Poxwalkers, and they need to hit something that's a little bit tougher to damage, a little bit harder on everybody, that's a good one to have. Those two together are pretty darn good in my opinion. I've not tried the other ones. As far as Plague Wind, it sounds pretty cool. If manifested, roll 1 die for each model in the unit that you're targeting in the enemy unit. and the unit suffers a mortal wound for each roll of a 6. So, you know, it's a free mortal wound if you manage to get a 6 up on a few dice. It's a good way to get some models off the table, or to start pinging away at those high wound count Wraith Walkers, Wraith Knights, you know, the new Marines that are out that have 2 wounds on them instead of 1, that sort of thing. So as a whole, your psychic powers you've got available to you here are really kind of toolboxy, and allows you to build a little bit of synergy with the rest of your faction, the rest of your army, and how you want it to play. Personally, I would take this guy, I would park him near my Poxwalkers and my Death Guard unit of Plague Marines, and allow him to advance behind them, doing supporting things, to include trying to keep him close enough that he can deny psychic powers. If you face an army that has a lot of psychic powers, for example, another Death Guard player, or Eldar, or just somebody who likes to take a bunch of psychers, the problem you're going to have is at some point he's going to have enough psychic powers, and then all this shooting on top of it, he's going to start whittling down your numbers really, really fast. So keeping an extra Plaguecaster around, probably not a bad idea. But those are my opinions on how to win with Death Guard with this guy. Use him to buff your infantry with whatever psychic powers fit your particular playstyle. I'm not seeing anything that really buffs a vehicle directly. So if you want to run a lot of tanks, the issue I see there is a lot of these powers don't really seem to do that much for them. The Pestilent Miasma, I can't say that word, I'm sorry. Until the start of your next psychic phase, your opponent must subtract 1 from all hit rolls against that target unit. So that includes your vehicles, which people are going to want to kill, because if they got decent guns on them, or any type of guns that are going to do a lot of damage, that helps a little bit. The Gift of Contagion, I haven't really tried this one, guys. I can't even theory craft it at this point. I haven't played enough games. So I would suggest throw him out there, see what you think of him, and let me know. Hold for a moment, pause for coffee. But see what you think of him. Do you think that a Chaos Lord with the Chaos powers would be a better match with your army? Let's get some discussion going in the section below. I do not have the Chaos Codex, so I cannot comment on what their powers are, or if they would be a good match for some of the Death Guard stuff. All the images you saw I found on Google, using the Google images and just seeing where people had painted up models. I do not know all their names. None of this is my work. Please go and Google, and you'll be able to see a metric ton of pictures of Plaguecasters. If y'all have any questions, please put them in the description below, and I'll do my best to answer them as quickly as I can. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.